Welcome to the part 1 video of science class on chapter 2 microorganism friend and foe. Students, in this chapter microorganisms friend and foe, we are going to learn about different types of microorganisms, how they are useful, at the same time how they are harmful to us. Microorganisms are tiny organisms which are not visible to our naked eye. They are present everywhere around us, including air, water, and soil. Microorganisms are also called as microbes. They are very small organisms which cannot be seen with unaided or naked eye. Which instrument is used to see microorganisms? Yes, a microscope can be used to see microorganisms. Microorganisms may be unicellular. Unicellular means they may be single-celled. Example, bacteria. Multicellular, which means more than one cell. Example, fungi. Microorganisms exist alone or together in groups called colonies. Here you can see a picture of the attack of microorganism on a bread. You can see the green patches as well as white patches on the piece of bread. The piece of bread gets spoiled due to the attack of microorganism fungi. Types of microorganisms. There are mainly 4 types of microorganisms. They are bacteria, fungi, algae, and protozoans. Now, let's see some examples of microorganisms. Bacteria. The examples are Lactobacillus, E. coli. Algae, Chlamydomonas spirogyra. Fungi, bread mold, Penicillium aspergillus. Protozoans, amoeba, paramecium. There is yet another type of microorganism. They are viruses. Viruses are also considered as microorganisms. They are totally different from other microorganisms as they have the ability to reproduce in the body of the organism in which they live, like bacteria, plants, or animals. Now let's see some diseases or ailments caused by microorganism. Called influenza or flu and coughs. Some serious diseases caused by viruses are polio, chickenpox, and HIV. Students, here you can see the different types of microorganisms along with their examples. Now let's see how microorganisms are friend for us, at the same time how they are enemy for us. First, let's check out the uses of microorganisms. Microorganisms play an important role in our daily life. They are used for making curd from milk, making cheese, pickles, bread, cakes, pastries, alcohol, wine, vinegar, or acetic acid. Now let's see how curd is made from milk. A bacterium named Lactobacillus have the ability to reproduce in milk and thus convert milk into curd. Making of the bread. A fungus named yeast reproduces in flour dough and produces carbon dioxide during respiration, which makes the dough soft and helps in making bread, cakes, biscuit, pastries, etc. So students, which is the bacteria which have the ability to convert milk into curd? Yes, lactobacillus. Students, which is the fungi used for making bread? Yes, it is yeast. Now let's see the commercial use of microorganisms. Microorganisms are used for the production of alcohol, wine, and acetic acid. For the purpose of this, yeast is grown on natural sugars present in barley, wheat, rice, and fruit juices. The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. The process of fermentation was discovered by the scientist Louis Pasteur in 1857. Now let's see the medicinal uses of microorganisms. Students, when you fall ill, the doctor may give you some antibiotic tablets or injections, isn't it? The source of these medicines are microorganisms, and such medicines are called antibiotics. So antibiotics are medicines that is used to kill or stop the growth of disease causing microorganisms. Antibiotics are produced from bacteria and fungi. Streptomycin, tetracycline, and erythromycin are some of the commonly known antibiotics. Now let's see about the famous discovery of penicillin. Penicillin was discovered by Alexander Fleming in 1929 while he was working on the culture of disease-causing bacteria. He found the spores of little green mold in one of his culture plate. Spore means the single-celled organism which have the ability to reproduce. And culture plate is the one in which a scientist performed his experiment. What did he observe? He observed the presence of mold prevented the growth of bacteria. So from the green mold, the penicillin was prepared. Vaccine. When a disease-causing microbes enter our body naturally produces antibodies to fight them. The antibodies will remain in the body and we are protected from disease-causing microbes. This is how a vaccine works. There are vaccines for different diseases such as cholera, tuberculosis, smallpox, and hepatitis. Children are also given injections to protect themselves from several diseases. Vaccines are available in hospitals. You might have heard about the vaccine for polio. Polio drops are given to children. They are actually vaccine. This is called an oral vaccine. Vaccines are made on large scale from microorganisms to protect human and animals. When vaccine is injected to a human body, our body produces antibodies. These antibodies fight the disease-causing microorganisms. This is how a vaccine works. Now let's see the other uses of microorganism. Some bacteria like rhizobium and blue-green algae or cyanobacteria have the ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen into soil, and this increases soil's fertility. These microorganisms, which have the ability to convert atmospheric nitrogen into a soluble form, are called biological nitrogen fixers. Cleaning the environment. You might have seen dead organic matter laying on road or on the ground, isn't it? After a few days, they may disappear. What is the reason for this? This is the action of microorganism. Microorganisms have the ability to decompose dead organic matter. These substances will be again used by the plants and animals. Microorganisms can be used to degrade harmful and smelly substances and thereby clean up the environment. Does the microorganism have the ability to decompose a polythene bag or a plastic? No, they cannot decompose a polythene bag or a plastic as they are of not a living matter or a biological matter.